so we can stop talking about chat again.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so much fun.
After.
Monard, Pixel, how are you?
Hey, Pixel. Hey,
Skike.
Skiki.
Well, I'd say hi as soon as my computer decided to come back on, but it's not being very polite.
Of course,
Oh,
Skiki was right in front of me in the hallway downstairs. So.
ah. Pixel, how are you? I'm actually doing pretty good.
Wow. I may actually have to reboot my computer.
Was it yesterday that we went to Jersey's for breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it was ages ago.
Doesn't it?
Excuse me.
Their omelet was really, really good, but it was much more like a scramble than an omelet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was my takeaway just reading the menu though. So I guess I wasn't disappointed. Come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. You got this. No bouncing beach balls. Come on. I'm gonna have to roll back my OS now that I don't need this one anymore. There we go. Smart baby. Oh, smart good girl.
Note, don't stack water filters. They can't be unstacked.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. I have 3 of them in my pocket that can't be unstacked.
Huh.
Well, that's bloody rude.
Leave them in a box somewhere and let someone else try it. See if it's something with your computer that's doing it.
Possible. They're in one of the drop boxes upstairs right inside the front door.
Okay.
Let's see. Map. How many traders can I hit up for water filters today? All of them, of course.
The answer is
But
yes.
will you fit them up for water filters today? Yes, you can go to all of them, but will you go to all
I'll do a bunch.
of them?
I actually found one that I found a town that I don't know if it had escaped notice or if it had completely respawned because the trader was untouched, the mailboxes were pretty much untouched.
Well, if you're a certain distance away, the entire chunk is supposed to reset.
Right, and this is one, it's up in the north, it's up toward, but not quite to the burned biome. And it was a town that I had not previously been to. And it was like, okay, I can dig this. Shut up, Rex, you rude. Do we need anything else from the traders?
The
I am
ability to double tap them through the. Oh, never mind.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I'm looking. I'm basically looking for blood bags and water filters so we can make more advanced dew collectors because it takes 4 apiece. So. Oh my gosh.
Mm. What are you
I may
valley
just-
girling about?
I may just have to go out into the wasteland and, kill everything that moves.
Mm.
Because.
I'm within 150 of Texas kill count.
Ah! Well, yeah, but you've been cheating.
I have
Hold on.
never, ever been that close to your kill count.
I
Hold on a
know.
minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, good Lord, love a duck. Even my kill count ain't that good.
Mine's gonna be nowhere close, yeah.
I say we do it.
Mhm.
Holy cow, you are that close.
For now.
For now.
Well,
Yeah.
both of you cheated, so it's fine.
Exactly.
It evens out.
No,
Yeah.
we did not cheat. I earned those 600 kills very, very.
That is true.
I worked hard for those 600 kills.
That is true. And Sparky got all the XP.
Yeah, he pulled
She
it
got a-
out, and
she
she
got a
did
crap
really
load of-
amazing.
She got a crap load of levels, too.
He was spectacular.
Yeah, even when it ended up being a running gun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now she has earned her own sword and done a run and gun fairly significant horde.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh.
think that will improve her
Confidence, yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
And I actually want to disagree with Bent for just half a second. It was more than fairly significant horde. It was a
Wasteland
20-minute in
Yeah.
your face,
Mhm.
on the ground, in the wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So it was
So you-
go go go.
So you cheated
It
to
was
get your
earned-
kill count.
It
Yes.
was it was earn your XP and
Mhm.
yeah, in the last 2.5 days, I've probably gotten 1,000 kills.
Oh.
Partly from doing the insane quest, mostly solo, and
Yeah.
and partly from doing Horde in the Wasteland.
I gotta start doing some cabinet screens or something to get my kill count up.
I still have that one in the Wasteland.
Yeah, no, we're gonna
I'm-
go do it.
Yep, I'm not there. I'm making the northern loop first to do the water filters, but yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
No, when I was down there for my other quest, it was, and I have spent a fair amount of time in the Wasteland.
Oh.
So, but for whatever reason, and it may have been because it was, oh, well, this is coming up on Horde Night or whatever. I mean, literally, every time I was trying to do something relatively mundane, and every time I turned around, there'd be 3 or 4 more just wandering zombies.
Yep.
and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4, and before you know it, you've got 100.5 kills.
Oh yeah, the Wasteland is great for that.
I've always been able, I walk around the block and I'll get 2 or 3 kills, but this was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So it may have been, the game day thing, it may have been game stage thing, because this is more than I normally encounter just when I'm walking around to and fro. Not that I'm complaining, mind. As I logged in, a baker leapt over my head in the base.
Yeah, he's actually been walking back and forth on the second floor balcony above the garage.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know how.
So he's not one of yours.
He's not one of mine. He was walking around the backyard, then all of a sudden I blinked and he was upstairs, and I'm like, dude.
I wonder if that's the one I brought back several days ago, and then you couldn't hire him, or didn't need to hire him, or whatever, and so he's just been wandering around the grounds ever since.
Could be.
And I hear music, but I don't see anyone. I'm guessing there's a, random wanderer somewhere. Chicky, you're safe from me today because I got all my white meat and we have plenty in the fridge.
You have all 3 screens working again?
Yay.
And brought you this cable. Oh, nice. Well, that was nice of them.
That's always nice. Yeah, I haven't quite got this one tweaked up for 3 screens. I tried, and Lathios came in and said, please don't do that. And I kind of understood it.
I have 3 screens hooked up. I'm only using 2.
Well, for me, unless I get the other computer in here, to run mod /admin /whatever stuff, and at some point I intend that's what I will do, is have the other computer in on the side part of the desk. But to have the work screen on that also will allow me to greatly enlarge things like chat, so I can actually see it, even if it is low contrast on black.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do too, is at some point get another monitor in here for that. And
in theory, I mean, this GPU, and the thing that Elle said, and I don't disagree, this GPU is stressed enough with just
same with me. That and no space.
An additional screen shouldn't put any stress on the GPU?
Well, it's heat is the questionable issue. This is a water-cooled
Mm-hmm.
machine, but it does not have the capacity that some of the other ones do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was worried about heat exhaust being more of an issue than being able to function and handle it. And yes, it does get right toasty at times, so I am not gonna diss him on that.
What GPU do you currently have?
This one's got a 2060.
Okay. Yeah, you
which-
definitely could use a new GPU.
Which is why we're shopping.
Mhm.
I'd like to get a 4060 Ti, but last I looked, there were none to be had at any price.
What about 4080? Or is it just all the 40 line?
A stock 4080 I could get,
Mm-hmm.
but if I can get the Ti, the price point is close and the performance is enough better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll keep scouting for a few weeks to see if I can find a Ti. I mean, it's not like I desperately need another one, but at some point in the not distant future, yes, I will definitely need another. And you know, the 4080 would certainly do the deed, but if I can get a little more flexibility with at essentially the same price point,
Mm-hmm.
I'd just as soon do that. They just were all out of stock when last I looked.
Yeah, it's like me with that mouse that I tried ordering. It's out of stock right now.
Mm-hmm.
Razer has a new vertical mouse. A vertical gaming mouse.
Oh, nice.
Does it have the same potential resolution as their laser mouse?
Supposed to. And it's supposed to be
32,000, I
better.
think?
It's supposed to be better than the Logitech vertical mouse. Much better.
The one I got is pretty terrific, actually, and it's one that Waythio's kickstarted.
Yeah, but that's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
And considering that the Logitech LX is not, to my memory, don't quote me on this, is not billed as a gaming mouse,
Mm-hmm.
of course it's
No,
going to
it's not.
probably,
Yeah.
of course
Right.
it's going to be better than the Logitech vertical mouse. You're talking apples and oranges.
Yep. And that's why I stressed that it was a gaming mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples and conquests.
Yep.
Although, for a mouse that even I've smacked on the table a couple of different times and more than that, even though its battery is finally starting to show a little wear, I do have the XL, LX, or whatever the hell it is, and it's been a very very comfortable little mouse. I've been very happy with it.
Well, I do like Razer, and I have used Razer. What I'm currently using is steel.
Yeah.
Because they're weighted nice.
Yeah, I've had some very nice steel products. Absolutely.
Yeah. My last steel thing was a keyboard
Mm-hmm.
that actually had some very cool. It was a streamer's keyboard
Mm-hmm.
that we sent to Papa. That's got about half of the Stream Deck UI also integrated into the keyboard.
Mm-hmm. You have
Hopefully I-
137 points. You need to do the challenges, Skike. Covert soldier, survivalist, technician, and tradesman. So look under challenges and complete the class-related challenges.
That will open up things so you can then spend your points.
Yep. I'm missing something.
Never.
Hmm.
Never.
Is a game supposed to be programmed like that? I just watched a dog open the door and go in. And then close the door behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Very polite.
What's happening?
Like this dog walked in through the door and closed the door and behind it.
Yes, the dog. The dog has been flipping out for the last 20 minutes or so. She just showed up behind the baker a little while ago, and it had been ignoring her.
Yeah, she's an NPC saying, "Look, I'm part of your family now."
So Snow Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they can do doors, kind of like Bengal kitties.
Uh-huh. Or Huskies.
Oh, I actually got to enlighten someone to the joy that is Bengal.
Mm-hmm.
That includes things like walking on a leash and getting in the shower and turning on lights and opening doors and opening Pyrex snap top containers.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jaeger could do all of those. The girls, Nell can reach the light switches, but she doesn't particularly care to.
Mm-hmm.
Mew would love to open the doors, but she can't quite reach. Thank God. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's a reason that we have the kinds of door handles and deadbolts that we do. We actually got the door handles so Jaeger's paw would slide off the end if he tried to reach up and open the door. There's no knob on the end of the lever. Unlike many disabled accessible door levers.
When we converted to those, Dave's cat Larry, God rest their souls. Well, I'm sure Larry's still alive, but Larry figured out he reached up there to paw after Dave went up to the VA one day and realized he could open the door from the inside because of the safety mechanism housing put in place so that we could never lock ourselves out.
Mm-hmm.
Lock yourselves
And
in.
Larry, lock ourselves, because you have to have a key. You cannot lock yourself out. You have to have a key to lock the door. You cannot inadvertently
Right,
lock your door.
right.
So Larry's like, "Oh, but Daddy," and he reached up there, pulled the handle down, and unlocked the door. And it was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, Jaeger was like that, which is why we got the.
Yeah.
We replaced all the doors, all the door handles, when we bought the house. And instead of getting the standard disabled levers, which have a kind of a knob on the end to keep your hand from slipping off, we deliberately got the ones that didn't, so the cat's paw would slip off.
Yep.
Because, you know, this is our clever boy. We do so miss him. You know, the girls are nice and they're girls, but they're just not at all
Jaeger.
like Jaeger. And Jaeger was such a kitty. Well, actually, no. Jaeger was
Jaeger.
Jaeger was like Tucker, I think. Jaeger was like a phoenix in Mufti, and Tucker was a dragon in Mufti. Just because that's what they were.
I think we're gonna go with that design.
been through part of this town previously. I do not have a trader mark in this town. Tex, have you got a trader here?
I can't look yet.
Oh, alright. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't see that you were kind of busy.
Now I've got the clear. Now I've got to find my way out of here.
I see a trader to the town north and a trader to the town south, but I don't have a trader in this town.
Okay. What town are you in?
I am north of you, almost directly. Paramount.
I don't have a trader marked in that town.
Okay, maybe there.
But
maybe,
hang on
maybe
a
there
second,
is
let me
one.
look. Let me look.
But I also don't have it completely mapped.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have part of it done, but
I do have a trader wrecked in that town.
okay. You want to send me the link?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I have one in the town to the town north and one to the town south, but not here.
Well, it depends on what you consider south. This guy's a bit east of you. Let's see if you have. You may already have this. Let's see.
What you got? And we'll go from there.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the right one. I wish you could click on something and say, you know, show me this,
Mm-hmm.
or share this, and not have to find it actually on your list. Or maybe I can. Oh, maybe I don't have it as Y, so let's do this. I think it's an auto-generated one.
Yeah, and those aren't as good as the truck-generated ones.
Nope.
Iggy's med for hyperthyroid isn't working as well anymore. Doc said symptoms are get worse
Aww.
from here, so I have to make the decision in short time. I'm on it for over 3 years, though.
And you have, and he hasn't had radiation, has he?
Very stressed, yeah. Well, if you need to call and talk, just let me know. I'll be there for you.
Likewise.
Yeah. I know exactly how that is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that just happened to one of my friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you back working now, Pixel? I think I remember you saying you were. That you were back working. Fatigue takes you down easy. Yeah. Well, and all that's going to be a stress on Iggy as well. I'm really sorry to hear that. You feed him every 2 hours? Ah.
And toward the end, what we were giving Jaeger was people baby food.
Mm-hmm.
The pureed meats, because he actually liked those, and with extra, he liked those way better than all of the kitty stuff.
Thank you for the raid.
Fury.
How's the stream tonight? And if you guys don't know Fury, Fury's a wonderful streamer. Please do go give her a follow.
Tally ho, here's a trader.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming it's on the northwest corner there.
Yeah.
Pretty chill. Started a new world in Darkness Falls. Oh. It's too much stress for me.
Besides, we're having too much fun with this one. Until we're not having this much fun, then
Yep. Still need to decide on a new game. Or a additional game. I've been suffering from burnout from 7 Days to Die, so I need to introduce another game into the mix to give me a break. Where is the trader? There it is. Still a fun game and everything, but I get really tired of it at times. I know it's heresy. Or sacrilege. Whatever religious term you want to call it.
something.
So we were thinking V-Rising, Small Lands, Forever Skies, Planet Crafter, something like that. I don't like Stardew Valley, but I absolutely adore Graveyard Keeper. But I don't think either of those games have multiplayer, do they?
I do not
Stardew
think
does.
so.
Stardew does?
Yeah.
Stardew does now, but I don't think Graveyard does.
Huh.
Now, does Stardew have multiplayer, or does Stardew have, MMO-ish?
No, it's multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know to what degree, what the, group cap is.
Mm-hmm.
The new Dune game looks interesting. That does look interesting. And it is a crafting survival game. I was just watching Co-Carnage's take on it.
Always agree with Co, but Co always has interesting things to say.
Yes. He's got a good head on his shoulders most of the time.
And some of the things that I don't agree with,
Mhm.
it's just a matter of, okay, your game your way, my game my way.
Mm-hmm. The new
Rarely
Dune
seen.
also has base building.
Does it now?
Yes.
Which one?
The new Dune game.
Oh.
Take a peek.
It's by Funcom, so it's the creators of Conan Exiles.
Mm-hmm. The other one that I was thinking about that I really enjoyed was Small Lands.
But it's like we got kind of hung up in some places, and if they've developed some resolution for the things that kind of got us stuck before, then that could be good.
And I think they may have with the recent updates and such.
Yep, because I know they've got a lot of new content up.
I had heard that.
Mm.
But I haven't actually looked at it since we played, which has been, a year and a half.
Longer than that.
Something like.
Last time we played, wasn't that with Vass?
Was.
He passed more than a year and a half ago, didn't he?
A
2.
year. Yeah,
Oh.
not quite 2.
Yeah.
Not quite do, because
It'll be-
I
it'll be-
actually go.
2 in September.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember it was like 29th or something like that.
It was the 29th. That was
Yeah,
actually one of our dearest friends' birthday, who also passed away. Car and I were talking about him actually at Harborview recently, because he was the last person I had gone to visit at Harborview until Andrew. Yeah. So Vass died on Mishka's birthday.
Did you join us on that, Pixel? Were you playing Small Lands with us?
It was, yes.
Oh. Well, that's some additional incentive for Small Land. I don't remember what the problem was that we had with Small Land. I think it was more people not showing up.
There was something that, you had to do X in order to do Y, but it was very hard for many or most of us to do whatever the X thing was.
Mm-hmm. So I still remember most of the progression in the game.
And delightful game.
Yeah. You join? It was early access. We did everything. Yeah. We ended up doing everything. I think even for what we played, we got almost all the way to the end. For what content there was at the time.
Yeah, and that may have been part of the problem was that because it was early access, in order to be able to do certain things, there were not enough steps or too many steps to. Because I remember at one point getting, stuck on the other side of the river and having issues, and there were some odd things.
Yeah, if we play Small Lands, we can get Pixel to join us.
I support this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do too.
Well, we're only talking 1 or 2 days a week. Just something to give us a break from 7 days.
Not unreasonable.
And I think it would be more fun than V-Rising. I've just been playing too much V-Rising.
See, and that's one that never really clicked for me for whatever reason. Probably because
I can understand that.
well, I should say probably because it is the ones that are all dark all the time,
Mm-hmm.
or substantially dark all the time, are not really my bag because I have a thing
Tuck.
about, being able to see.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing, Tuck?
Hey, Tuck.
Of course you can bring Tuck.
We'd be a little surprised if you didn't.
Doing good. We're volunteering you. Or at least Pixel's
Guys been
volunteering you. You've been...
Maybe a little disappointed too. Go ahead. Surprised and a little disappointed if Pixelwing doesn't bother Tuck to join us.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he's getting press ganged.
Yep, pretty much.
No, that involves heavily drugged cheap booze.
Mm-hmm.
There is no booze in sight, so it can be many things,
Well,
but not press ganged.
We are talking Pixel here, though.
Point. Of course,
That's
talking
what she does
Pixel.
best. Oh.
We're talking Pixel, and she can just look at him with big wide eyes, and I suspect that he's okay, my dear. What can I do for you? A bit cautiously, perhaps, but cheerfully happy to do it.
You told him it was going to be like his bull and him, but you're older, wiser, and taller.
Aha! Is that the drill?
Hmm?
Well, I'm older and possibly wiser, but not taller than Lathios, so, it can work.
Well, more and more people are getting taller than me.
Oh, I am down another half inch, damn it.
Oh.
I went to ortho last week, and yeah, I am down yet another half inch. Which means, the spine that is above where mine is fused is compressing because none of the rest of my spine can.
You're both the exact same height, but you tell him you're taller. Oh.
Aha!
Your secret is safe with us, Pixel.
We won't tell anybody but, the 2.2 million viewers on chat.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy, how are you?
Well, unless Crazy or Night
Hey,
Raven
Izzy.
is a beanpole, y'all are midgets.
Truth. Although, gotta say, Tex, I don't know if you saw the last that came in as we were leaving yesterday. I think you were already gone. But this lovely lady, who was a striking late middle-aged lady,
Mm-hmm.
was probably 4 inches taller than Carr.
Wow.
She was quite tall. She was a touch taller than I am. Yeah.
I'd say a fair amount taller, because I saw her before she started fiddling with the cart and stuff, standing up straight.
Mm-hmm.
When is Sparky gonna be in town again?
Probably not till Thursday.
Okay, because I've got that Lake 7 Blu-ray that I want to give her.
Yeah. Andrew's PT is my height as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, it should be here Thursday. She's usually Thursday to Saturday.
Well, we do breakfast when she's in town sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Because Sparks is a bright spark in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I like the name for her.
Yes, it actually
Lathios
Right.
picked a good one. It fits her well.
Quiet. It's, partly because of her former profession and partly because she is who she is.
Uh-huh.
And for
No.
those who don't know, Sparks is a journeyman electrician.
Now, did you guys say she was playing 7 days?
No.
No.
Oh, who was that then?
Is dystopian dystopian survival games, oh so not her gig.
Okay.
No, she plays Diablo.
Okay.
Yeah, a whole different kind of dystopian survival game, but
Hmm?
tell her that no, it's
I
so
don't
rooted in
think-
deep fantasy.
I don't think Diablo's dystopian.
It's not. It is sheer honest to God fantasy.
Yeah.
I just yanked her chain about it.
Oh, it could be dystopian fantasy though.
There you go. Now she doesn't do things like brain fails me now.
Is it the camera?
Fallout. Pardon?
Is it the camera movement or is it more?
No, it's the content.
Okay.
It's truly just straight up content. So she doesn't like games like Fallout and stuff like that. It's just not her gig.
Games that
Okay.
show how awful people can be.
Or how awful
Yeah.
life can be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I still don't know why I like those games because they always make me depressed.
Well, and the funny thing is
I-
it should make me depressed, but it doesn't. It makes me feel resourceful. It makes me feel,
Yeah.
yeah, I could survive anything. Bring it on.
Well, I will say that I do like Skyrim much more than Fallout.
Sure. I mean, but again, I see that as apples
No.
and kumquats.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I like the Fallout franchise, or at least Fallout 4,
Mhm.
is I like the whole game for a whole. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is the aesthetic. It's
Yeah.
not the dystopian aspect. It's not the nuclear fallout, blah blah blah. It is that retro futuristic 50s. It's that
I like the
that-
lore associated with it.
yeah, and the lore associated with it. There's a lot of things that tie that franchise up so nicely
Yeah.
that it wants you to keep coming back and playing. There's not too many games that feel that way on a couple of different levels. That's what I like about that game.
And the thing about
Um,
that one for me is, it is, it has enough cartoony /
Mhm.
silly elements,
Absolutely.
that Alas Babylon literally gives me nightmares.
Wow.
Last time I read the book, I had nightmares and
Mhm.
I grew up having those nightmares.
Mhm.
And Fallout is cartoony enough that it doesn't
Yeah.
push that button. And
But you can still experience the reality of it.
well, I don't play it, but I don't mind watching Lathios play it.
Mhm.
And it's, I don't play it just because it's not my gig.
Yeah, exactly.
But unlike things like Alas Babylon, Alas Babylon, no shit gives me nightmares.
Y'all remember the day after? I think
Yes,
it was
I
the
do.
day after.
Yes, it
Mhm.
was. And vividly.
Mhm.
And it
Yep.
can stay right the hell there.
Yeah. Because that was another one that was,
A little too close
mean-
to home.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
literally part
Especially
of my
for-
childhood.
Especially for the time that it came out.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, for chat's benefit, because I know y'all know it, when I was a kid, one of the things that we did every morning was listen to the radio to find out whether or not there would be nuclear tests at the Nevada test site that day.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
so if we saw weird things, we would know it was a test and not, the world ending.
True.
Yeah.
And so that was my growing up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it is a different kind of nightmare than and I lived in the middle of a big circle of the world's most hazardous military installations.
And then on top of that, grew up in the end of the cold during the
during
basically tail end of the Cold War.
Right. Well, not even the tail end. I mean, when I was a little kid going to school, it was in the throes.
But you have a more active memory of it than most
True.
of our group.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I mean, I'm older than all of the rest of y'all, and it was how and where I grew up. And I'm not saying it's any, good, bad, or indifferent.
It just is.
It's different.
Yeah.
Well, we were on a farm in Mississippi at the time. So we were pretty insulated from all of that. Because we weren't really anywhere near any place that would be a direct target.
But not being a direct target is
worse.
And
yeah, but I didn't know that at the time.
Is in many ways worse, yeah. Because you get left to clean up what's left over.
Yep.
I was happy, I was happy to be a direct target. As horrible as that sounds.
Yeah, because I would not want to hang around for the aftermath.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but all of it,
no computers, no video games.
Exactly. So all that morbidness aside, however, when I had a thought, I really did, guys. I really did.
All the morbidness aside.
All the morbidness aside. That was, it's the day after. My school district was one of a couple of different school districts in the state that offered our parents, we were given the option, we got a free day. We did not have to, the school, because the schools actually, we watched it in school.
Yeah, and schools screened it.
Schools screened it. And if our parents gave us a write-off, they'd send us to the library or send us home.
Yep.
But we were not required to watch it. And it was several years after that I took the write-off, I watched it, and it was like, holy moly. Because it was a little too close to home, a little too graphic, a little too on point. And when it's set in a setting that you're familiar with, it's like watching Doctor Who. Daleks, I get the relevance of Daleks, but it don't mean jack to me in a sense of the cultural impact.
Yep.
I don't know what it's like to watch a Dalek cross, London Bridge. But I know what it's like to have a weeping angel in my cemetery in Manhattan.
Chat, do y'all remember the day after? Or have y'all even heard of it?
Some of them have got to.
Yeah.
Some do,
or at least a few.
It was long ago enough that folk younger than of a certain age probably do not know it.
What's gotta been 82, 83?
Maybe a little bit later.
I was in high school.
Okay.
Had to have been early 80s. I was in high school.
I got out of high school in 80. So,
might have been junior high then. Because I was in school. I got out in 84.
And that was a made-for-TV miniseries, too.
Exactly. Let me see if I can do a recce on a date here.
I'm checking.
Yep, no one in chat saying anything about it.
83.
83?
Oh.
Okay.
83. A little earlier than I thought.
Later than I
Yeah.
thought, because I was in uni by then.
Yeah, because we were getting ready to move back to Texas about that time.
Let me confirm that it's the one we're thinking of.
Jason Robards?
Yep. Yeah, 83.
Huh.
I knew it had to have been very early 80s because I thought I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was remembering the room that I got excused from that was on Evergreen's campus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd forgotten that John Lithgow was in that.
Mm-hmm.
Eve Gutenberg, yeah. Wow. Kind of Syndrome was also
Mm-hmm.
good.
That
And
one
Clockwork
I really liked. But yeah, and Clockwork Orange. I really liked those two movies.
The military installation on which Clockwork Orange is based
Mm-hmm.
was in our county.
Yeah. Oh.
At the ass end of our county on the border with Nevada, but it was in our county, and some of my family worked there from time to time. As it turns out, Letheos Dad did too. Because, you know, everybody needs a bioweapons lab in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a friend of ours was from the city that did most of the incineration of the chemical warfare stuff.
That may be... We'll have to talk off stream about that.
Mm-hmm.
The end of all of that was my town. So if your friend was from one of the places I grew up, I may know them.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the town.
Let's not go there on stream.
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, there were two places, and then they closed Rocky Flats.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have since closed the one that he was near.
Yeah, they nominally finished what they could do.
Ah, now I remember. It was in Alabama.
That's a different one then.
Uh-huh.
Because one of the things that's necessary are large areas of unpopulated space, and so the big bad uglies were west of the Rockies.
From what I remember, Aniston was a little podunk.
It was, but
nothing around it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but it doesn't have millions of acres around it like central Utah and eastern Nevada do.
Yeah.
Where
no,
there
it was a government cleanup, and it was complete incineration, so it was extremely safe.
Of course it was. Just ask them; they'll tell you.
Exactly.
And I am, in fact, not bitter, for all that I may sound that way at times. Because growing up where, when, and how I did contributed substantially to me becoming the person that I am.
Absolutely.
And I am good with that.
There are not many things that I would compliment my parents on. They shielded us from a lot of the stuff in Mississippi. We were never involved with racism. We knew some about it, but we were taught that racism was bad. Actively taught that racism was bad. Other things were okay, but not racism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it is just a matter of who you're othering.
Yeah.
But they also shielded us from a lot of that as well, from our neighbors.
Right.
Oh, I was absolutely bubble boy up until like 25 or so. I felt very alienated when I learned the ways of the world.
Well, our parents let us know what was going on, so we didn't feel sheltered. But they did explain to us what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah, and when I realized most people don't have that same morale.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, and it would never, for example, and this is disclosure to about as great a degree as I'm willing to make. Which y'all know, but chat doesn't. And I'll disclose it to make a point. I grew up a fair amount of my childhood and adolescence in central Utah.
Yeah.
And there were not a lot of blacks. There were more where I grew up than pretty much anywhere else in the state because of the military installations. There were a variety of other ethnicities, but explicitly, until the 1980s, black men were not allowed to be clergy in the Mormon church.
Well, they were barely allowed in the church.
Oh, no, they were allowed in the church. Come in, pay your tithing, but you're not allowed to be a full and participating member.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, and that is oh so not okay. That is just... That is few among a multitude of really hideous cultural things that most of the people I grew up with, it would never have occurred to them to even question it. That's the frightening part. The childhood indoctrination is takes hard and goes deep. And it would never have occurred to the women to question that their calling in life was not to be a breeder. They couldn't stand up to themselves in cases of domestic violence because men are always right and women are always at fault, and those kinds, and the fact that they couldn't even formulate a challenge to any of those mores is what I find disgusting and appalling beyond words.
Caveman's comment was, there's something fishy about those mermen.
There are.
Okay,
but
Caveman, did you hear about the scarecrow that got promoted? He was outstanding in his field. Of course, Andy's not here. I'll just read one more. I used to hate facial hair. Well, I tell that joke all the time. About how it grows on you. Some people pick their nose. I was born with mine.
Oh, it was so funny when we took Andrew to urgent care last week, 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yes, as I had to go out to the car to get something. And when I went out to the car, I came back in, and there were 2 young college lasses getting out of the elevator.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, gosh, well, apparently this is sorority sister nose job week.
Oh.
Clearly, they picked theirs.
Oh God, yes.
Where do math teachers go on vacation? Times Square.
Grown.
Oh, we need a groan emote.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
get.
Oh, we've got the
groans.
face palm.
We do have face
Yeah.
palm.
Don't-
There was
Face palm will-
something I was thinking about earlier
Don't trust
today. and I don't-
atoms. They make up everything.
They do. I was thinking of something. I was responding to someone else the other day, or earlier today, someone else's stream, and I was thinking, God, if I had an emote for X,
Mm-hmm.
and it would make a great squirrel mote. But do I remember? No.
Well, one of my favorites, Caveman. How many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb? Potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Turnips. But yeah.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there a previous server that we played on where Bent got ahead of me in kills?
Not in kills. I don't think so. Level, yeah, but I don't think I've ever
No,
beat you in kills.
I think there has been a server where you beat me in kills.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was one of the build servers.
It is possible, but I'd be. You are out.
Fairly confident about it. Fairly.
Well, I know one of them at the end. I was kind of tickled because we were both level capped, but I was game stage way ahead of you.
Oh.
But I don't remember being kill count ahead.
I think you were kill count ahead.
Huh. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But
I'm okay with it too. I don't want to do Cabin of Screams.
and you know, if you tell Lathios that, he'll say, "What?"
Yeah. Girls will clean up a dropped ice cube. Boys will kick it under the fridge. Yep. Until they grow up and actually own their home.
Or
No,
fall on,
no. Even then, they'll still kick it under the fridge.
until they fall on their ass and
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, trust me on the small print.
They cranked up the screamers in vanilla again. Campfires caused multiple screamers to spawn.
Lovely.
Oh. That's a bug. I think they screwed up again. I don't think it was intended.
Mm.
We used to have to do, up until this latest update, we would have to do a coordinated logout on the server. Because we would get hordes of screamers if one person was left on the server by themselves.
Like 50 of them.
Yeah, like 15 or 20 screamers all at once. So I think it's a bug that they're trying to pretend is a new feature.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see now where.
I'm going to reset this as an infested and abandon the quest. So if you want to come out here and do it.
Which biome?
Wasteland.
Mm. I
Yeah.
have a
And
I have a
screen.
quest there.
I was gonna say, let's make sure he's not resetting
He's
yours.
resetting.
No, he's resetting yours.
No, I'm at mine.
Okay.
But yes, he's resetting because I can't off this Bambi sitting in front of me.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Good
I'm
gameplay
sitting
off.
still.
Popped the fires down and started cooking. And they showed up. Yep. I still don't think that's a feature. I think it's a bug. They're just claiming it's a feature.
I think it's a bug and they just don't want to work on it.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah, claim it's something new that they've introduced on purpose when it's accidental.
Dang it. Just vaporized the deer.
Oops.
Oops. Well, I, want the red meat in case I need to.
Right,
Hire a
but you
minion.
still don't need to kill the Bambi in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do need to kill the Bambi, but I don't need to vaporize the Bambi.
Well, that's what I mean. You don't need to vaporize the Bambi in the process. Do you want me to bring you some red meat?
No, I actually have red meat in one of my pockets. I came out of the trader and there was a deer standing there in the road eating. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
it's one of those.
I see.
Could be a featured bug. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. It's been elevated from bug to feature,
Oh.
which has been known to happen.
Oh yeah.
There are actually several famous games that have what started as a bug, but they've turned into a feature.
How is it they will give you every shape known to man except the one you want?
Uh-huh. They do that on purpose.
Do they
Mm-hmm.
know?
They know what you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ain't that a
Well,
fact?
Trial bridge?
Oh yeah.
yes.
That one's that
Now it's done.
I think you and I did that one.
I haven't done this one.
I was out there with you.
That wasn't me that you did that with then.
Well, you may have been out there and it wasn't your quest.
I haven't done this POI though.
Have fun. It is fun.
It's fun.
Sharky and I actually did it last night while we were waiting for Horde. And it has good loot.
Need to talk to her at some point about not joining if she hasn't been invited. To at least
well-
ask.
Yeah, well, remind quest etiquette.
Yep.
Well, as much as I don't want these windows, I guess these are the ones I'm gonna get.
You know, I was looking and looking in creative last night, and I could not find some blocks that I know exist. I'm pretty sure they're dev blocks. But it appeared to me that lots of the indexing in creative is perhaps less complete than
Creative.
it. Yeah,
Less than stellar.
yeah. Because I know that
Yeah.
some of what I was looking for, I've gotten out of there before,
Oh.
and now I can't get it.
Yeah, this trial bridge, someone has done this particular one.
Oh, that's probably the remainders from us doing it last night.
Oh. Yeah, because a lot of this has been blowed up.
Because things start to go boom. Delightfully. But yeah, that's got some high value loot there too. I don't know what all Sharky got, but I got 2 or 3 pieces of fairly high value loot.
on.
Oh, did you ever party invites?
Uh-huh.
Party invites.
Oh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think we're gonna call it, guys. But thank you.
Okay. If you think that's best.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night. Well, that helps with my kill count.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it above bend. And you do realize I'm just...
Of course.
Okay.
I have met you.
Mm-hmm. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It means I have a clue as to what what I'm in for.
Yeah, this one has already been cleaned out. I didn't have a quest for it, so I couldn't reset it. The only one that I had a quest for at that trader was the trial metro.
Oh yeah.
That one's interesting. Time consuming, but interesting. Interesting.
Just, everybody wants to go crawling around in the subway during the apocalypse. Why not?
Mm.
I mean, it worked during the Blitz,
Mm.
so.
Anytime that someone mentions Blitz nowadays, for me, the first thing that comes to mind is Ballroom Blitz.
My brain has been known to go there.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help that I have recently heard the song. So you still have to kill deer? You haven't finished your animal quest? Or is it the red meat you need?
Wanted red meat in case I came across a puppy that could be a foxy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I finished all the quests.
Okay.
And, you know, like I say, I just walked out of the trader and there was a deer, you know, asking to be gotten. But you were in the middle of resetting a POI at the time, so...
Oh. And not just any POI. Cabinet Screens POI.
Right, which froze everything, and then when my shots did take effect, they vaporized my deer.
Oh.
Did you lose another Bambi?
No, same one. We were just talking about. I didn't actually need it for quest or anything. It was because it was just standing there when I got out of the trader.
It was in case she ran into a puppy that she could tempt over to the fence side.
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you.
Well, and I really do hate to cut it early tonight, but my butt's getting hard sore again. And I'm getting tired.
Yeah, no worries.
Still getting up too early in the morning.
We know this drill.
Uh-huh.
So know this girl.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let chat go. So I will see you all later, chat. Have a good night.
Good night, chat. Good day. Good whatever time zone you're in.
Hey man, see you later. Monard, if you're still here, have a good night. I am, caveman, I am. And I'm enjoying my sleep. Good talk. Have a good night. Pixel, have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.